Robert is 62 years old, and every single morning he wakes up feeling like he never slept at all. Before he even gets out of bed, a heavy, suffocating wave of exhaustion pins him to the mattress. His joints ache with a deep, stiff rust, and when he finally forces himself to stand up, his mind is covered in a thick, confusing cloud. He forgets why he walked into a room. He struggles to find the right words in conversations. He calls it brain fog. His doctor calls it getting older. But a recent blood test revealed a dark, hidden truth. Robert was diagnosed with a fatty liver. Like millions of older adults, Robert panicked. He immediately went online and fell straight into the biggest, most dangerous trap in the modern health industry. He bought an expensive blender, and now, every single day, he forces himself to drink a large, dark green detox juice. He blends raw spinach, kale, green apples, and celery, believing he is cleansing his body. He thinks he is literally washing the fat out of his liver. But there is a terrifying problem. After weeks of drinking this green medicine, Robert does not feel better. He actually feels worse. The brain fog is heavier. The exhaustion is deeper. He feels like his body is slowly poisoning itself from the inside out. And biologically, he is absolutely right. Because Robert has fundamentally misunderstood what a fatty liver actually is. Your liver is not just a passive storage unit where your body hides extra weight. It is the master filter of your entire bloodstream. When you are young, this filter is clean, fast, and incredibly efficient. But by the time you reach 60, if you have spent decades eating the standard modern diet, that filter becomes completely choked. It gets buried under a thick, suffocating paste of toxic fat. And when the master filter is choked, it stops cleaning your blood. The daily toxins, the heavy metals, the metabolic waste, they no longer get filtered out. Instead, they bounce off the choked liver and circulate right back into your bloodstream. They travel straight up to your brain, causing the memory loss and the fog. They settle into your knees and shoulders, causing the morning rest. You are not just tired, you are experiencing toxic overflow. But the most shocking part of Robert's story is not his choked filter. It is what he is pouring into it. Because that healthy green detox juice he drinks every day is secretly the exact thing that is destroying his liver's only chance to heal. Let's look at the choked filter and the terrifying microscopic reason why your daily green juice is quietly suffocating your liver. And the terrifying microscopic reason why your daily green juice is quietly suffocating your liver. Deep inside Robert's liver are millions of microscopic filtering stations called hepatocytes. When he was younger, these cells easily processed his food and cleaned his blood. But after decades of eating processed foods and hidden sugars, these delicate cells have become gorged with fat. This is not the healthy fat that gives you energy. This is the thick, inflammatory paste that completely paralyzes the cells. Think of your liver like the heavy-duty radiator in your car. It is designed to pump fluid, cool the engine, and filter out the dangerous burning heat. But Robert's radiator is completely packed with thick, greasy sludge. The entire engine of his body is overheating. So he drinks a massive raw green smoothie, believing it is a cleansing fluid. But he does not realize that raw spinach and green apples are loaded with two things a choked liver cannot handle: massive amounts of liquid fructose and microscopic razor-sharp crystals called oxalates. When he pours that green juice into his body, it is the exact mechanical equivalent of pouring jagged sand and liquid sugar straight into a broken, clogged radiator. It does not clean the sludge, it violently damages the delicate filtering cells and forces the liver to work twice as hard just to survive. And when Robert finally goes to his doctor, the advice he receives is universally dangerous for anyone over the age of 60. The doctor simply tells him to eat less, count his calories, and lose 10% of his body weight. So Robert goes on a restrictive crash diet. But when an older adult starves themselves, the body does not burn the toxic fat trapped inside the liver. It panics. It actively begins to consume its own muscle tissue just to stay alive. This is a devastating, crippling condition called sarcopenia. As Robert loses his precious muscle mass, his metabolism completely crashes, his insulin resistance skyrockets, and his liver becomes even more permanently choked. He is shrinking on the outside, but suffocating on the inside. This is exactly why restrictive diets and green detox juices are a biological death sentence for your liver. They treat a symptom while actively destroying your metabolic engine. To truly melt the toxic paste out of your hepatocytes and restore your master filter, you must trigger a specific, natural cellular repair mechanism that protects your muscles. There is a complete, scientifically backed metabolic protocol designed exclusively to reverse this choked filter in older adults. We have put together a comprehensive, step-by-step presentation that reveals this exact repair protocol. You can watch this private video right now by clicking the link in the pinned comment below. If you want to stop the toxic overflow, clear your heavy brain fog, and actually heal your liver without destroying your muscles, pause this video, go to the pinned comment below, and click the link to secure your access. But before you do, you must understand the window of repair, because your liver actually possesses a miraculous ability to eat its own fat. But you are actively blocking this process every single night. Let's look at the metabolic flush and the exact specific proteins you must eat to physically dissolve the toxic paste.
And the exact specific proteins you must eat to physically dissolve the toxic paste. Your liver possesses an incredible, almost miraculous ability to regenerate its own cells. It is biologically designed to perform a nightly deep cleaning process called autophagy. During autophagy, your body literally eats its own damaged tissue, and it actively burns the thick, toxic fat that is suffocating your liver. But there is a strict biological catch. This deep cleaning process only turns on when your insulin levels drop to absolute zero. And this is exactly where millions of older adults unknowingly sabotage their own healing. When Robert drinks a supposedly healthy glass of fruit juice before bed, or eats a small, innocent late-night snack, his blood sugar spikes. And that tiny spike of insulin instantly slams the heavy iron door shut on his liver's repair window. The autophagy shuts off. The master filter stays choked for another 24 hours. The toxic fog in his brain just gets thicker. To truly trigger the metabolic flush, you must fiercely protect your repair window. You must finish your last meal by 7 in the evening. You must give your liver a dark, quiet fasting environment to literally pull the suffocating sludge out of its own cells. But fasting alone is not enough for an aging body. You must give your filter the exact chemical solvents it needs to break down the hardened grease. And those vital solvents are absolutely not found in raw spinach or green apple juice. They are found in specific, high-quality proteins. Amino acids like methionine and choline act as powerful biological detergents inside the human body. When you consume clean, highly absorbable proteins during the day, these specific amino acids travel straight to your liver. They physically bind to the stubborn fat trapped inside your hepatocytes. They package that fat up, and they forcefully ship it out of the liver to be burned as pure energy. Protein is not just for building muscle. For a 60-year-old adult with a choked filter, protein is the ultimate medicine. It acts as a shield, protecting your precious muscle mass from wasting away into sarcopenia while systematically melting the toxic paste from your internal organs. But once that toxic fat is finally released from the liver into your bloodstream, you cannot just sit in your armchair. You must actively burn it off using a mechanical, biological engine. And the most effective engine for an older adult does not require running, jumping, or stressing your fragile joints. Let's look at the 30-day blueprint and the exact gentle daily ritual that will completely unclog your master filter without a single drop of green juice.
Without a single drop of green juice. To physically burn the toxic sludge that is now floating in your bloodstream, you must activate your body's mechanical insulin pump. When you are over 60, your cells become highly resistant to insulin, but your massive leg muscles have a biological back door. When you walk at a steady, rhythmic, brisk pace for just 30 minutes a day, the physical contraction of your muscles completely bypasses insulin. It acts like a powerful mechanical vacuum. It literally sucks the floating toxic fat straight out of your blood and incinerates it in the furnace of your muscle tissue. You do not need to run. You do not need to lift heavy weights and risk destroying your aging joints. You simply need 30 minutes of rhythmic walking to permanently clear the sludge that the protein detergents just released. But you must be completely realistic about your timeline. The medical industry is right about one thing. You cannot completely cure decades of a choked, suffocated liver in just 30 days. But if you follow the metabolic flush, within exactly 1 month, you can dramatically reverse the inflammation. You can stop the toxic overflow. By day 30, the heavy, crippling exhaustion that pins you to your bed every morning will start to lift. The thick, confusing brain fog will evaporate, and the sharp, crisp memory of your youth will begin to return, because your master filter is finally breathing again. But this 30-day flush is just the absolute beginning of your recovery. If you have spent decades accidentally suffocating your liver and you want to completely rebuild your metabolic engine, reverse your insulin resistance, and permanently melt away the dangerous visceral fat that is stealing your independence, you need the complete clinical blueprint. There are specific silent metabolic triggers in your pantry right now that are actively blocking your autophagy, and exact protein ratios you must hit every day to force your liver to regenerate. To get the complete step-by-step liver restoration protocol, click the link in the pinned comment below. Watch the comprehensive free presentation right now before the medical establishment forces it to be taken down. The ultimate solution to unclogging your master filter is waiting for you. Just click the link in the first pinned comment. Robert threw his expensive blender in the trash. He stopped pouring liquid sugar and jagged oxalates into his broken radiator. He started protecting his window of repair. He gave his body the protein medicine it was begging for, and he turned on his mechanical pump. Do not accept the toxic fog as a normal part of getting older. Stop suffocating your master filter. Clean the blood. Protect your muscles, and reclaim the sharp, unbroken energy that is rightfully yours.